Welcome to today's video insight. Today I want to talk about our self-image a little bit more. And yeah, so basically by default our self-image is based on norms and standards and us measuring up to them. And in a lot of people's minds, basically probably in all of us in our minds, is this need for approval. Because of course disapproval when we grew up, disapproval from our caretakers would be really bad if they would discard us, more or less. So we have this inherent need of approval in our psyche by default. And that's why we want to measure up to certain norms and standards. And therefore, as I said in the previous videos, our mind looks around in the environment, identifies with certain peer groups, with certain peers, and based on that it attracts norms and then it has its standards it wants to measure up to. And yeah, so this makes us very defensive, and also it's a different goal to have a goal for approval and going to try to get approval from a certain peer group. And often it's just in our head even. Even if we achieve something, sometimes people even don't even care. And sometimes it doesn't really do so that's the logical conclusion. Basically it doesn't do anything for us. Also these self-image goals often. They can give us a little dopamine hit if we have this perceived goal achievement, but in reality, it's not serving goodness. That's the problem with these self-image goals. It's just arbitrary default goals, but they do not serve real quality of life often. And yeah, so what do we do? Because our mind is wired that way. So we can be intentional about when and who we identify as a peer. So when we want, sometimes, so if it's aligned in a certain direction, let's say money, for example, if you identify with a certain peer group that is great in making money or that hits the target that you need, that has this peer group, if they have these norms, you can ride their wave. So their norms will rub off on you and they will energize you in a certain direction if you get around them and if you identify with a certain peer group. But it's not always applicable, more or less. So in different situations with different priorities, if you want to relax or have fun, you can have different other peer groups, and you can disassociate with a certain peer group and associate with other peer group that's more adaptive for a different priority or situation then. Yeah, so that's how we want to deal with peer groups and approval, also approval from our own mind. You are basically who you are. You can identify, you have your self-image as someone who uses method in life. That's a correct self-image, and there you can orient yourself. You are someone who uses method. And then you can, as I said, you can write then certain norms of other people, if applicable, and you can disassociate. And then you don't have this permanent activation of a certain norm or need for approval, or a need to hit a certain image or uphold a certain image. If you have your self-image in a way that's most adaptive, and that would be the one where you say, okay, I'm someone who uses method in life. Yeah, so this was today's video insight. We can be flexible with our peer group who we identify with. We can ride the norms of other people. We want, as I said in the previous video, we want to have our standards at perfection, meaning we want to get over a threshold and to hit our strategic target or objective. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.